we know it's too thin. The first winged lander was to touch down near the North Pole. Crew members would travel toward the equator in inflatable pressurized spheres mounted on tractors. On arrival, they would prepare a site for the other two landers. After a stay of 15 months, the explorers would lift off and rendezvous with the craft in orbit and return to Earth. Today, America's new space exploration initiative climaxes with a bold mission to Mars with the goal of exploration and establishing permanent human outposts. In one scenario, the grand adventure begins with a Mars spaceship assembled in orbit from components brought up from Earth by earlier heavy lift vehicles. Once the Mars ship has been completed, a shuttle brings in the flight crew and the long interplanetary journey begins. Before a Mars landing is accomplished, it may be decided to first establish a base of operation on one of Mars' two moons, Phobos or Deimos. Sites for landing on the planet below may be selected from these vantage points. Another scenario contemplates a direct landing on Mars. Several different types of spacecraft could be involved. Many scientists feel that nuclear electric propulsion or another advanced system will be necessary for the flight. The prototype of such an engine has already been tested. Although the Martian atmosphere is very thin, a heat shield will be necessary to protect the spacecraft in its fiery plunge toward the surface. An initial Martian goal may be to establish a few science outposts on the surface. Though not necessarily permanent, they would be capable of supporting explorers while they conduct scientific studies on the Red Planet. Most intriguing of all would be the discovery of actual or perhaps fossil evidence of a primitive life form. The explorers would also determine the possibility of extracting useful resources on Mars that would be needed by future colonists. In some distant future, locally manufactured products may even be exported back to Earth. In 1976, two remarkable Viking spacecraft arrived at Mars. The lander portions descended to the Martian surface, while the orbiters circling above took 50,000 images of the planet. JPL scientists have utilized these to create the following data visualization of a flight over the surface. In the distant past, Mars had streams, rivers, lakes, and perhaps oceans. Many scientists believe that it is possible to recreate those conditions by employing a process known as terraforming. The technology to accomplish this is now understood. By slowly raising the temperature of the Martian atmosphere, vast amounts of water could be released from the polar caps and from underground reservoirs. The first in many complex steps will have been taken to make Mars a living planet similar to this artist's conception after the terraforming has been completed. In the not-too-distant future, mankind will explore many of the planets and moons of our solar system. NASA's present mission of discovery captures the essence of the human spirit, the need to explore, to push back frontiers, and to map new worlds. Someday, a giant spaceship may leave our solar system, carrying colonists on the grand adventure to reach the stars. An adventure that began when a man named Wernher von Braun designed his first rocket in the third decade of the 20th century.
The world owes Wernher von Braun a great debt. His visions and imagination in the 1950s led to America's space triumphs in the 1960s and early 1970s. Imagination and vision are once again needed to pave the way to further triumphs in the years and decades ahead. We need to inspire a new generation with the wonders, the excitement, and the promise of endless space.